The price of a stock A over a 10-month period increased and then decreased according to the following equation, where X equals the number of months. The price of the stock B increased according to the following equation over the same 10-month period. Again, so A says it goes up and then comes back down. And I guess that does make sense because we can see that the leading coefficient is negative, so it's a parabola that opens up downward. So again, it goes up, increases, and then decreases. And this is linear because I don't see a square. It means it's a line, and it says here specifically that B continues to increase over the same 10-month periods. Solve the system and list the two solutions. Round to the nearest hundredth if needed. Okay, so remember normally we could set these equal to one another, and using algebra we could solve. Still works. But when we have decimals, sometimes it's easier to actually use a calculator, especially if it says we're going to be rounding. So I'm going to take this equation and plug it in the first position and this in the second. I just go up to a normal DESMOS calculator and we'll start to plug this in. So we have y equals negative 0.75x. Remember to hit the square. There's the first equation. And here is the second. And now if you look at my graph, I can't see very much. So I'm going to come over here. I thought it was there. And hit, let's see if this goes away. And I'm going to just use my fingers in here and bring it back so I can kind of see things here. Should have been a little hourglass I'm not seeing. I'm going to just use the touch screen here to adjust so that I'm able to see fully. Okay, so using the touch screen, I just adjusted, or you could use this plus or minus. Excuse me, I didn't mean to move the screen there. You can use this plus or minus in order to adjust your screen. Again, the red is represented by A of X and the B is represented by in the green. And so the first question is, where do they intersect? So I'm literally going to go over the top of where they intersect, and I'm going to write this answer down. So 7.585 and 22.359. We'll talk about the rounding if necessary later. I come down again, where do they intersect? I click on it, negative 3.252, negative 7.443. Now let's talk about what these even represent in just a second here. Remember, it states in this problem that X represents the number of months. And it's over the first 10 months. X represents the number of months, and then Y is the value of the stock, or A of X, B of X, still representing Y. The output is the value of the stock. So when I look at this, that says after about 7.5 months, that's where they intersect, the price of the stocks would be equal at $22.359 per share. According to this, before I apply common sense to this, or rationale, this says after negative 3.252 months, the value of the stock would be at negative $7.44 approximately. Well, what is wrong with that second statement I just made here? Well, yeah, the value of the stock, it can drop, but what the problem is that we can't have a negative number of months. So if I come back here to this problem, sorry guys, give me 1 second. If I come back to this problem, it says to solve the system to find the two solutions. Okay, I did that. Round to the nearest hundredth. That means if you give me this answer, it would be wrong because I haven't rounded to the nearest hundredth. Here's tenth and here's hundredth. So I circle, and this says round up, circle, this says round up. Circle, stay the same, circle, stay the same. So this first answer, when I round to the nearest hundredth, would be 7.59. And it corresponds with an output of 22.3, and we would say, okay, 59 rounds up to 60, so 3/6. These would be the two answers that I would input. These are the two places in which the graphs cross. Now, when does the price of stock over the same 10-month period equal one another? And again, they equal each other where we've actually identified on the graph at these two places. But this is an extraneous solution. And the reason why this is an extraneous solution is because we spoke about, or I provided you with information that you can't have, this is the number of months, this is the price of stock. You can't have a negative number of months. That makes this extraneous. So When does the price of stock over the same 10-month period equal each other? They equal each other after approximately 7.5 months. And if it said, well, how much what is the price of the stock when they're equal? It would be approximately $22.36.